I thought I'd give you a couple of wee tips for this homework. Okay, so obviously the first two sheets are actually just explaining the method. Now, it's actually quite simple once you get the hang of it. So what we've got here is we've got a sum of £2,500, and every year you get 6% on top of that. Okay, so the second year, that includes the interest you've already received on in the first year. So all you do here is you say 2,500, you then times, and your multiplier is going to be 6%. So it's 1 point, so this 1 represents a whole number, and 0.6. Okay, so this 0.6 is 6% in decimal. Okay, so if it was, say if it was 10%, that's equivalent of 0.10. If it was 70%, that's equivalent of 0.70. Obviously we don't need this wee 0 at the end. If it was 9%, that's equivalent of, in decimal, 0.09. Okay, so you just have it. So that is essentially 106%. Okay, so we're going to say 1.06, and then we just look at the duration. So that's to the power of 3. And all you do there is you put that in your calculator. So I'll try and see if I've got this one here. So it's 2500 times 1.06 cubed, and that gives you the answer. Okay, so after 3 years with compound interest, you'll get 22977 point, I think it was a 54, yep, 0.54 pounds. Okay, and just like this one as well, you've got 1400, so you've got £1,400 in the bank. You're then going to times that by, it's essentially 107.6%, so it's 1.076, and it's to the power of 7 because it's the duration is 7, and then you put that in your calculator. So 14000 times 1.076 to the power of 7. So that gives you quite a lot of money back. So 2337. So that's 2337.83, and that's pounds. Okay, so this bit represents 100%, so that actually represents the whole number, or the whole sum, and this represents your 7.6%. And that represents your duration. Now, the other type of question you could get is if it's a loss. So here's the wee frogs. So we've got 60,000 frogs, and it's a loss of 15% per annum. So we go times. Now the multiplier, if you multiply any number by a number bigger than 1, you're going to end up with a bigger value, obviously. So this one's just the opposite. So we have to think of, remember your 15% is the equivalent of 0.15 in decimal. So we're going to take that 1 away from 1. Okay, so we're going to take this away from 1, which is going to give you 0.85, and that's what we're going to times. So the multiplier is 0.85. So that plus your 15%, so that's equivalent of 85, and or 85%, and it is going to be from 2004 up to 2008, so 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, so that's 5 years. And we're multiplying the number by a number smaller than 1, so we should be getting a smaller number than 60,000. So 60123 times 0.85 exponent 5, and that gives you, after 5 years, there's 26,622. that's frogs. Okay, so that's them reducing by the rate of 15%. So it's equivalent of timesing it by 0.85, i.e. finding 85% of what's left. And that's how you do it. So that's your multiplier. If it's smaller than 0, if it's smaller than 1, it's going to reduce it. Okay, and if it's bigger than 1, it's going to increase the number. Okay, so if it's decreasing, depreciation. If it's increasing, that's appreciation. But hopefully that's giving you a wee help.